Good evening, Carolina. Buzzing tonight.
The One Tree Hill cast reunites for charity.
Find out if Doja Cat is engaged.
The Princess of Wales is back after her cancer treatment.
And learn all about the drama surrounding this season of the Golden Bachelorette.
This and our opinions on these topics are coming up. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm Kennede Fleming.
And I'm Popielarczyk. The Tree Hill High School crew is back. CW's hit TV show One Tree Hill celebrated its 21st anniversary with a bang. Members of the cast headed to Wilmington, North Carolina to play in a pickup basketball game. Ultimately, the River Court team beat the Ravens with the game-winning shot coming from Robbie Jones, aka Quentin Fields. Other big names who attended the event include James Lafferty, Brian Greenberg, Sophia Bush, and Jana Kramer. There was also a special guest rendition of the theme song I Don't Want to Be by Gavin DeGraw. Afterwards, fans were able to attend the meet and greet and pick their brains on the new spin-off show, which is now in the works. The event was put on by the show's real-life foundation, Friends with Benefit. This organization gives their proceeds back to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, Toys for Tots, the American Heart Association, and many more. This is not the first time this weekend-long event has happened, and it doesn't seem like it will be the last. Kennedy, are you a One Tree Hill fan? Haven't really seen it. Do you know anything about it at all?
I know absolutely nothing.
Okay,
so you're gonna
gotcha.
have to teach me the basics.
Yeah, so I mean, it has been my favorite show for the past year and a half. I got into it. It's 9 seasons, so you definitely have to be a dedicated fan. But I know a lot of people are really interested in the fact that for a couple years now that they've had this benefit where they've had the cast come back and the meet and greets and the basketball game, and it's a nice way to kind of bring that sense of community back 20 some years later, and now with the reboot having that. So I'm excited to see if other shows start doing that. I'd love to see Disney shows that I grew up with, now the celebrities coming back. Are there any shows that you'd kind of be interested in if they did something along those lines?
Oh my gosh. That's a great question. Honestly, I can't really think of any reboots that I would personally want, but I do know that there's a Wizards of Waverly Place rebate. I'm saying it right. But and I literally saw a commercial literally before coming here, and I was like, well, it's okay, but then again, it's not for me anymore. Yeah. But it's good to see a reboot kind of introduced and stuff like that, which I do love. But I think the biggest thing about the show that you pointed out was that it's a benefit, them all coming back together, which I do love, because people really like when cast members come back and just to see how they are, years later. And it's really sweet to see. And I wish they could do that with Disney characters, you said, you know that one game show they had on Disney Channel that a long time ago where they would it was back when Raven-Symoné was really popular. Okay. And they would play games with each other. All the different shows would come together and they would play games.
Oh, the Disney games?
The Disney games.
Oh, that was such a good time to be alive.
They need to bring that back, but for charity, and I would totally watch.
Oh, I would totally be there. I would ask if I could join in with them too. Yeah. That's the one thing. I have to find a way to be a celebrity just so I can join in on those fun events like that. But
exactly.
I think that'd be so cool. And then also you kind of grow alongside these characters and then the people also. So seeing them reunite so many years later would be really fun too.
I know, right? Especially the ones that you watch all the time. I don't know why, but I would love to see Shake It Up people come back together. Because Zendaya and Bella Thorne went two completely different paths of life. So to see them together, stay next to each other, you have this one person who's still an icon, and you have one person who just put it on the shelves and kind of try to be a normal human. So, yeah.
And they would still bust it down on the dance floor.
They would. I think they need to have a serious dance battle. That's what needs to happen.
We'll put it in the works. We'll see what we can do with it.
A new rumor has taken over. Doja Cat might be getting married. Doja Cat is a worldwide pop star known for her electric song style and very strong personality. Recently, rumors that Doja Cat is engaged to her possible boyfriend of 2 months, Joseph Quinn, have been circulating. Doja Cat and Quinn were spotted holding hands earlier this year in London, which sparked dating rumors. Neither of them confirmed or denied these allegations. The engagement rumor started after Doja Cat performed at an iHeart Music Festival in Los Angeles, where she pointed her finger to the camera during her song called Agor Hill. The line of the song where she chose to flash her ring was, quote, "Rub it in your face, put a ring on her hand." Some fans took this literally and assumed it was a hint at an engagement. Before the speculations could get any further, Doja Cat said in a now deleted tweet, quote, "No, I'm not engaged. It's a David Yurman ring with no rocks in it." So, like, what do you know about Miss Doja Cat? Like, how do you feel about her?
I feel like the only things I've really heard from her have been her most popular songs from TikTok. I'm not a huge Doja Cat fan, but I mean, I know that everyone loves her music, so I'm sure if they played a song, I would be able to figure out which one it was. What about you? Big fan?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan.
Okay.
I think I know her basically, but I think the biggest thing I understand about her is I'm not sure if you saw, but there was a fan drama thing where one of the fans on Twitter, X, had said something about Doja Cat, and it was like, Doja Cat, you don't pay us any attention, or like, Doja Cat, say you love us, and she was like, I don't love you, I don't know you, and that caused a big controversy. And then I remember she cut her hair after that, and that's like one of the biggest things I remember about Doja Cat. But I also remember her in 2020 with Say So it's like 2020 Doja Cat to now Doja Cat. It's like a little iffy sometimes.
Yeah, and that makes sense too, especially when, you know, the basis for a lot of these celebrities is their fan support and getting people out there that will show up for them and, you know, be there for them no matter what. And then kind of taking it on your own path and saying, I don't even know you, is just kind of like, you know, a discredit towards the people that have kind of listened to her music and gone to her concerts for years.
Exactly. And then when people got really mad about it, she like doubled down on it. Like, she didn't even apologize or anything. She kind of just like skipped over it, and it was kind of like a I don't owe you anything kind of attitude, which is absolutely crazy. It's like if Ariana Grande was to say something crazy like that, like, they would tear her to shreds. Like, they would bring back history, like any scandal she's ever had, they would bring it all back up. But it's like interesting to see Doja Cat somehow skip the typical celebrity happening. And then going back to the dating thing, Joseph Quinn, like, her getting married to him, like, possibly after 2 months would make sense, because like Ariana Grande, she passes through boyfriends like constantly, right? And she's divorced now, so it's like it wouldn't be that much of a surprise if she was to like genuinely get married to Joseph. It's
just interesting to see. I mean, I feel like the stuff I heard from her most just out and about was 2020, so I wonder if since then she's seen a decline in her fan support and in people, you know, being interested in what she's doing, because that might have a lot to do with, you know, the lack of support she's had or people backing her up afterwards. So I wonder if that's kind of like correlated with each other.
I think so, because like, if you become an overnight sensation, right, and you have like this influx of fans, right, and they support you no matter what, like through anything that you do, and then you just throw that on them like that, did you really change, or were you just faking it for the cameras? Because that's what it's kind of giving to me, is she was already fake in the beginning, and so she was just like letting her personality out now, you know, unlike Chappell Roan, for example. She is unapologetically herself, and she chose to make it known to public, like, hey, I'm setting these boundaries with you guys, and people hate on her for that, but that was honest. She didn't say to them, hey, I don't like my fans. You know, I don't care about you. She just was saying, I have a boundary that I need you to respect if you want to be a fan of me. You know?
And that makes sense too. I mean, at least, you know, celebrities are now taking more like self-accountability, or at least just putting those boundaries in place to begin with when it comes to their fans and their supporters, because you have to look out for yourself first and foremost. So, I mean, however they choose to go about it is however they choose to do that. But if that's their process, then I guess that's what's working with them for right now.
Right. I guess that's what they need to do.
Don't leave just yet. We'll be right back with some national entertainment news right after this.
The Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, is back and doing well. Middleton announced earlier this month she completed her 6-month chemotherapy treatment and will continue living each day, day by day. Early this year, Middleton announced that she had cancer, only 6 weeks after the King of the United Kingdom announced he had cancer as well. Before the announcement was made, the internet speculated about the princess's health because she hadn't been seen in public for a while. Since then, Middleton has been seen doing some public activities. For example, she attended the King's birthday parade and men's finals at Wimbledon. SGT wishes the best for her and her family. So, do you know anything about the royal family?
I mean, I feel like I grew up during the time that happened with all of the royal weddings with Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle and all of that. So my family always made it a big deal. We had these, big marriage, parties when it came to that, so we could watch it as everything was happening. So hearing about, everything with her cancer treatment the past couple months has just been a shock to everyone. I know that I was on social media a lot when people were talking about where is she, and the different speculations that they had, that it ended up being the worst case scenario practically when it came to hearing about that. But I'm definitely glad to see that she's up and back on her feet again and going to social gatherings, because a lot of that stuff just shows, she has that mental step to push past everything, and she is a social figure, so seeing her out and doing that stuff is pretty cool again.
Yeah, like her courage is commendable, because that's
Yes.
that's something really hard that she's going through, and she decided to let the public know. And I think it was so interesting how much we as Americans connect to princesses and stuff like that. And it was interesting to see on Twitter when they first dropped the news, and everybody's like, so where is Kate at? Is she okay? Did the royals do something to her? And then it drops just a shock. And I was like, wow, we really are involved in their politics as much as they are in ours.
Yeah.
And it's funny to see, but it's just I really do hope that she's able to live a very long life, at least for her and her kids, to make sure that they have a stable family life and that they're okay. Because I feel like a lot of the times you don't really think about what the kids are going through in that situation. You just see all the drama, but in reality, those are real people, even though they feel so distant and so far from us because they're famous or celebrities or really high up, they're just like us,
Yeah.
So it definitely hurts.
Yeah, and they have been through a lot the past couple years, like the Queen passing away and then the King getting diagnosed with cancer also. So making sure that, the kids are okay. I want someone to go in and check on them and make sure all that's happening, because we might have a hard time kind of accepting the fact that she has a lot going on, but the kids, just imagine their mom, and that's what they're going through too. So hopefully they have a lot positive stuff coming their way from now on, because I mean, at the end of the day, everyone around here wants to know about it. So hopefully they're on the upward tick of everything from now on.
Exactly. I kind of want to know a little bit more tea or drama about the royal family, because I know Meghan Markle and Harry, that was big.
That was a lot.
That was big. And then they have a kid now, I think. And
two
kids. Really?
Yes.
Hey, yeah.
I know of. There might be I know there's at least two.
Who knows? It's so interesting thinking about them, because where are they? Nobody really knows about them outside of royalness, but they're not even in. I think they try to separate themselves from the royalty. So it's whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, they're really trying to go back to normal and regular and stuff like that. So my question to you is what would you want to be a princess? A real princess? Not one in the movie or television, but a real one.
I mean, I feel like I grew up always wanting, my goal in life was to be a princess, and I was convinced that was truly attainable. But ever since seeing how much of, a spotlight is put on their lives, I feel like that would just be a really big undertaking. I mean, everything you do is publicized, and there are a lot of American celebrities that go through the same thing, and celebrities from other countries, but you really only ever hear it in your country. But with us being so prevalent, hearing about everything that's going on over there and having such strong opinions about it, I feel like that would just be a lot of pressure all the time to look good, to feel good, to make sure you're making the right decisions. There was a lot of controversy, I know, in the past couple years with Meghan and Harry, some of the decisions they were making, and then the public didn't take very well to some of their decisions, especially deciding to leave from that. And then you see the state that they're in now, where a lot of the stuff that they go through isn't even talked about just because they don't have that title anymore. So I feel like at the end of the day, it is a lot. It's a lot more than people think, but that kind of just has to do with being in the public light. What about you? Are you thinking princess task, or maybe something else is down the road for you?
I think I could definitely be Princess of Maldonia from that one movie with the princess,
Okay.
with Anna Hathaway.
Yes. Oh,
That's probably.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the name
I
of
don't know,
it.
it's clicking. But
Yes.
that would be the kind of princess that
Genovia.
I could.
Sorry.
Genovia. That's what it is. Yes.
It made me think of it.
Yes, that's the kind of princess I would be. But in real life, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather be a famous than be a princess, because when you're famous, you can kind of say kind of whatever you want. I mean, people still hate on you no matter what, but you have more freedom to say whatever you want. But if you're a princess, they I mean, I think they hated on a dress Meghan Markle wore one time because they were like, oh, it's inappropriate. And like it was like above the knee slightly.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, no, I couldn't do that. Never. They could never catch me. Oof.
Yeah,
No.
there are certain standards they definitely have to make sure they're meeting, and yeah, it's the same thing with celebrities with their management companies, but when it's tradition and it's family life, that adds a lot of drama into it. So hopefully everything for them from now on is positive and happy. And
smooth sailing.
Yes, we'd love to talk about that instead. The series premiere of The Golden Bachelorette might have been one for the books, but it's the buzz after the show that has everyone talking. One of the contestants, Gil Ramirez, will be edited out for the remainder of the season due to a restraining order coming to light. Ramirez's ex-girlfriend filed the order on June 9th, just a few days after the contestants' background checks were conducted. His ex claimed that he started to abuse her emotionally and would appear at her most frequent locations. He even found ways to contact her 25 times a day through various tactics. This revelation came just days after multiple news sources discovered that The Bachelorette's Devin Strader also has been accused of similar actions. In 2017, Strader allegedly broke into his ex's house, causing her to take out a temporary restraining order as well. Strader has taken to social media to say that their relationship ended on, quote, good terms. I know we talked a lot about The Bachelorette last time we were here and everything with Devin and how he's just been completely annihilated online, and now hearing all of this, I know a lot of people have been saying the problem with all these men being on these shows is that the producers aren't catching everything, that the background checks aren't as thorough as they should be, that they're not protecting the people, because I mean, these women come into The Bachelorette not knowing the guys that they're going to meet, they don't know their intentions, and I feel like social media has really driven that they just want to be famous and that they're not there for the right reasons. So you kind of seeing that a little bit with other shows too, where you just feel like they're not being protected?
I would definitely agree with you. Like I think one of the shows that I love watching is called Love is Blind. And that one, there was this one guy who he was so odd to this one girl, and I don't know how she dealt with it. Like, she was so clearly so uncomfortable when she was speaking with him, but like it was like a force kind of thing on the producer's part. So hearing something like this happening on The Bachelor is crazy. Like, it's strange that it happened twice, you know, like, what do you mean you're not, like, background checking these guys? Like, you have to double check, especially when they're older. Like, they have way more history to go through. Like, you can't just accept what they send you. You have to be like, okay, let's, like, do extra background checks. Let's make sure everything's okay. Because if not, you're going to have situations like with the Bachelor girl, where this guy was a pretty much basic abuser, right? And mentally, and nobody would have known that. You know, they didn't ask ex-girlfriends. They didn't ask ex-wives. Like, there are certain things you have to do for the safety of all the contestants, not just the guy or the girl, but everybody involved. And so,
And whether it's Love is Blind or The Bachelorette or whatever franchise, they're going into it like blindly.
Exactly.
They don't know what they're about to expect, and you would kind of hope that the people that are on the powerful side of it would make sure to take those initiatives to go out there, do their research, and then do their research again and again and again until filming happens, because now they're going out of their way to edit him out of everything. Hopefully he didn't end up winning, because if that was the case, then they probably would have had to cancel the season. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how it plays out over the next few weeks and months as the show's running, to see it's their first season and now they're already going through this controversy.
Exactly. Like, it's a shame, because not only is it the people on the shows who are taking this time out of their lives, it's also the producers, the filmers, the editors. Like, they're spending all this time having to, like, double go over what they already did just because of two idiots who decided that they cared more about fame than they did about, you know, being somebody's safe space or safe home. And I'm just like, ooh, you know? So hopefully, like, for shows like, have you ever seen The Circle?
Yes, a little bit here and there.
Yeah, see, on The Circle, they do background checks. Like, they have to check their social media, they have to check their family and friends and make sure that these people can go on this show and they can either be loved or disliked, you know? So we're definitely going to see.
Yeah, I feel like especially now, I mean, social media is so prevalent. So wanting to get famous or wanting to be the person everyone's talking about, good or bad, is a lot of people, you know, the way that they're starting to take these reality shows instead, because that's not what it was 15 years ago when reality shows started getting super prevalent. So it'll be interesting to see how a lot of these shows start adapting with that, and how much of an initiative they're going to start taking with protecting those people that are in those, you know, vulnerable situations.
Definitely, because like years ago, like when social media wasn't like as popping as it is now, like they were just dramatic there. They were fighting each other on these shows. Like they weren't fighting each other through social media.
Yeah.
That's what they do now. Back then they were just throwing down. Like, I don't know, I think it was a show called Bad Girls Club. I never watched it before, but it was kind of like the Baddies. It's a show where they just put a bunch of loud people together, and they kind of just have to be a little bit dramatic and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But they have more, Baddies has more social media influence than Bad Girls Club, which was, you know, those little TikTok sounds online where it's like, there's one where like, you know, you have 30 minutes, that girl, that show, that is how shady they were in real life.
Okay.
And so that's, like, those are the kind of reality TV shows that I would watch. Like, those kind of people, if you want real dramatic people, you need them in front of each other. Like, we don't need a blind stuff. We need them directly in front of each other to get real fighting. Because, you know, if you're fame hungry like some of these people are, you need to be fame hungry. You know, you're either here to play a game or be famous. And I mean, if I was on a reality show, I'd play a game. I'm playing a game. I'm gonna win. Like, I'm gonna get on the circle one day.
Gotcha.
Promise.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it needs to be.
And they probably want more drama from like the authentic people and not like the characters they try to portray themselves as on TV, because the fans can see right through that. So we'll see what's going on with all that, but you know we love our reality TV show discussions here, so we'll keep everyone updated with that too.
Very much.
That's all we have for tonight's episode of The Buzz.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also follow us online at sgtv at usc.com. For SGTV, I'm Allie Popielarczyk.
And I'm Kennede Fleming. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina, forever to be.